So hello guys, welcome. This video is about loading operation on a tanker ship. So before showing you the practical operation in CCR, I would like to tell few things which we must know before we start the operation. So while doing a loading operation, there are two things which we monitor. First is ullage and second is pressure. The ullage in the tank and the pressure in the tank. On any tanker ship, wherever you will go, you will always find a panel dedicated to the cargo tank. Each cargo tank will have its own panel. There will be a panel which will indicate ullage, temperature and pressure. So you will always have a panel which will show all these things. Temperature is also an important aspect, but unless you are loading heating cargo, unless you are loading such cargos, then it is not of a concern. If you are loading heating cargo, yes, you will keep an eye on the temperature of the cargo, but other than that, there is nothing to be done with respect to temperature. You just monitor temperature, that's it. You keep a tap on it. So always on a tanker ships, you will not find soundings, you will find ullages. Everything, all your calculations, everything is done as per ullages, not as per sounding. So that is why ullage is very important. Once the tank is loaded, now if this is just a second example, so if this is your cargo tank, if you start loading in your cargo tank, if this much liquid is filled inside this tank, this much space remaining will be your ullage. So that's what we have to monitor. The next thing which we monitor is pressure. So once you load cargo in a tank, the air which is there inside the tank will be displaced and the air would want to come out. So on each cargo tank we have a PV system, pressure and vacuum system. This is a single system where in case of pressure the air will go out, in case of vacuum the air will come in. That's it. So once the cargo start coming inside the cargo tank, the air which is there inside the tank, it will start coming out through this PV system. So that's why we will also monitor pressure.
So ullage and pressure, these are two important factors, so we'll keep an eye on them. So let's start the operation.
So this is my cargo control room and this is for loading operation. So at present you can see over here, that's the ullage 12.671 for one starboard cargo tank. Now we are only going to load one tank. So that's my ullage, that's my temperature and that's my pressure 0.2. So ullage, pressure, temperature and pressure. It is for all the tanks, always. Okay. So this is my ullage. So what it means is, if this is my tank, that means my tank ullage is 12.64, 12.67. That means my tank is empty. As we continuously load in this, the ullage will keep on decreasing. This ullage will keep 12, 11, 10, 9, just like that. So just in this case, if you can see one port, the ullage is 1.997. That means the cargo is loaded in the tank. The ullage is only this much. So this is just a rough idea. Same as you can see, if you will see over here, the tank is fully empty. So the ullage is 12.6. So how much do we have to load? So normally you will have a cargo operational plan which is there, which Chief Officer must have given you. So this is my cargo plan. So this gives me an approximate quantity how much we are going to load, 500 metric ton. It has given me ullage. One more thing which is required is density of cargo. So normally you can find it in the cargo plan itself. For each cargo it has different density, or you can ask Chief Officer what is the density of cargo. So for example over here, this is the density. For different parcel, like if we are going to load different cargo in different tanks, those have different densities. So that's it. So as we have seen, my topping of ullage is 2.25. So that means at 2.25 we have to stop loading. So normally what we do is we will write 1 meter more than that. So normally I would write 3.25 because at this ullage I will call Chief Officer, because 2.25 ullage is a finishing ullage. So normally 1 meter we add into that and we call Chief Officer on that ullage. So I'll write this ullage so that it is just for my reference, because when it is one cargo, it's very simple. to monitor the LH. But when there are multiple tanks running, you might not know at what LH you have to call GeoServer or how much is the topping of LH. So best practice is to write the LH besides the panel so that you don't make a mistake. But as this parcel is only single parcel, it's very easy, you can remember also. But still I would prefer to write on the side so that I know at this LH I will inform GeoServer. So the next thing is, whenever you are loading, make sure your high level and overfill level alarms are on. They are not switched off, because normally at sea we switch them off. It is like this on this panel. On your different ship you might have a different panel or a different button, push buttons. So as of now, if you will see, this high level and overfill alarm is shut. Means if the tank is overfilled, for any tank, these are for all the tanks. Okay, so if we are loading into any tank, if the tanks reaches to high level or overfill, there will not be any alarm. So normally we do this when we are at sea. So whenever we are loading, make sure that these high level and overfill level alarms are activated. They are not cut off or they are not isolated. Remember, this is common for all the tanks. Next, you can see that our Framo pump, this I've already told you that jockey pump is running, power pack is running. Power pack normally will run at less pressure because we are not discharging, so we are not going to use any cargo tanks. So all you can see is these are my cargo pumps. All of the cargo pumps are stopped. We are not going to use them. And this is the tank which we are about to start. Normally GeoServer will give you a manifold diagram also. So this is the diagram that we will show. So this diagram is very simple because like we are starboard side alongside. So from starboard side a cargo hose will come and we are going to load in one starboard. So from starboard side one hose is connected and it will be directly loaded into this tank, one starboard. So now we have written the quantity, we have written the density. Density, as I've told, you can take from the loading plan also, but that is approximately, or you will get the densities from the surveyor. So this is like density table from the surveyor. So we are going to load approximately at 15 degree. So this is the density for this cargo. This particular cargo, the density at 50 degree is 0.890. So approximately this is the density. And once I start the cargo, every hour I will write down over here timing and I will calculate how much is the cargo. So that's my loadigator. That's my cargo tanks. So here I will, in this one starboard, once I click over here, one starboard cargo tank is ready. I will continue to write down the LH and I will continue to get volumes. So as I told, now it's 3 o'clock. So I'll take the LH. So at 3 o'clock, one starboard LH is 8.373. That's it. I'll come down over here, write my time, 8 starboard LH, 0.373. Pressure was 0.2 kPa. And I will write down this LH also in my loadigator. So that's my loadigator. Here I'll come and this is one starboard cargo tank. So I've clicked that. So that means this is the volume 2 to 1.6. So I'll not write 2 to 1.6, I'll just write 2 to 222 basically. So my volume is 222 multiplied by my density. Density is 0.89. So this is my metric ton, 197.58. That means 198. So total volume 222. Total weight is 198. Hourly, how much is the rate? As previously it was 2 o'clock we started cargo, now 3 o'clock this is this. So the rate is same as total weight. Now cargo loaded 198. To go means remaining. How much cargo is remaining? We are maximum loading for 500 metric ton. 500, and we have already loaded 198 metric ton. So 302 is remaining to be loaded. ETC, what is the ETC? So ETC, estimated time of completion, this we get when we divide that by cargo rate. So 302 is the cargo to be loaded, metric ton, and if we'll continue receiving at same rate, we'll finish in 1.5 hours. So it's 3 o'clock already, so around 4:30 we should finish the cargo. So ETC I'll write today only at 4:30. Manifold pressure at loading is 0 normally. Just remember, this cargo loaded is always in metric ton. To go is always also in metric ton. Hourly rate is also calculated in metric ton. Now SF and BM and drafts. So this we'll get from Loadicator. I'll just click over here. So this is my SF and this is my BM. 27.1% at frame number 36. I'll just write out 27.1% at 36. BM is 48.6% at 71 frame number. Drafts forward and aft. This also you can get from Loadicator. After filling, make sure that your cargo is rightly there, and also your ballast is updated in the tanks. Then you can note down the drafts. Forward draft is 2.9, aft draft is 5.4. So this is how every hourly, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, every hourly, this is how we'll continue to monitor cargo tank load. And that's how a cargo calculation is also done during loading. So at loading board, what checklist which we have to fill is, first is ship show safety checklist, which will be already filled by chief officer. As you can see, it is already filled by chief officer with the loading master. So it's already filled. Everything is filled. We have to read this, and as you can see, it is signed. And now there are certain things which we must check at every 2 hours or normally 4 hours, depending upon your company regulation. Not more than 4 hours normally. So, but as per my company, not more than 2 hours. So every 2 hours we have to do some checks which we have entered into this. So these are the checks. Interval time I will write over here, 2 hours. What time I am checking that. So I'm now like I'm checking at 0300. Inert gas system and oxygen. So on my ship I'm not using nitrogen system, so this is not applicable. Cargo tank atmosphere is positive pressure. Yes. Mooring arrangement is effective. Yes. Access to ship show. So basically you have to check for all these things. You have to ask your duty ABs and or OS to check for all these coppers and save all or plug, external openings are control, pump room ventilation, tankers, fendering, communications are effective, supervision of and watch keeping adequate. So all of these things you will do, and whatever is not applicable you will write, like inert gas. So on a chemical tanker we are not using IG, so I'll write this, same this. Rest all is I've already checked, so I will click yes. Our cargo tank high level alarms are operational, yes, and initial, you will sign over here. So at every 2 hours, so now I've done these checks at 3 o'clock, next I will do at 5 o'clock. Then next checklist which is to be filled is cargo transfer checklist. This is filled by, same again by chief officer. As you can see over here, it's already filled by chief officer. We just have to do these rechecks which are there inside. This is normally done at every hour. So like now at 0300, then next I will do at 0400, 050, 060, just like that. Hourly calculation sheet has been updated. Yes. No leaks on decks or overside funnel exhaust. I've checked that. As pump room inspection done. Fixed inert gas system scrubber discharge check for sheen. It's not applicable because I'm not having that on our ship. Outboard manifold checked. Yes. P wall. Weather forecast. Moorings attended regularly. Not. Yes. Initial of person in charge. And once you have checked all these things, you will do sign. So every hour we'll do that. Next, there is a port operation log or port log as we call it.
So in this you will write all the important timings: when you started ballast, when you completed deballasting, when you started loading, when you completed loading. So these are general things which we have already written: pilot on board, anchor away, first line, all fast, loading master on board, key meeting, tank inspection. We have written these timings. Now with respect to cargo, we have started writing this: cargo hose connected at one starboard manifold, cargo hose pressure tested, commence loading of one starboard COT. Okay, so that's all. That's how we'll write completed loading, pigging of one starboard line. So as the important timings comes in, we write that. And also in port log, every hour or so it is required to write these entries: that fire safety round taken, tank your loading is in loading or discharging, whichever is. So loading is progress in one starboard COT. At least these entries every hourly you can write it, because this is required. Normally in vetting or in PSC inspection they can check that.
So this is a second example for a different loading when we are loading multiple tanks. Before I've shown you loading for one starboard, that was a single loading. Now we are loading multiple tanks: 3 port, 3 starboard, 5 starboard, 6 starboard, 8 port cargo tank, and 9 starboard cargo tank. Now you can imagine it would be very difficult to monitor or to remember the ullages for all the tanks, or what are the topping of ullages for the all tanks. So hence that is why, for that particular reason, I would normally write the topping of ullages plus 1 meter to that the ullage when I need to call CHI officer for all the tanks whichever I am loading. So now when we are doing multiple loadings, so same thing, what we have to monitor: ullages and pressure. In before one starboard cargo tank, we were not having pressure during that time. Now I can show you over here. For example, now I'm loading in all the tanks. But just for an example, if I were to show you that 9 starboard, you can see the ullages I'm monitoring and the pressure. Now you can see the pressure is 19.7. It will continue to rise if the PV wall does not lift up. If the PV wall lift up, it will not rise. But if not, you can see 19.8, 20, it will continue to lift up. And we have an alarm setting. At 22 kPa, there will be an alarm if it does not lift up. Now you can see the pressure is rising and it is not, my PV walls. What I mean by PV walls are these walls, the one which you see there, those PV walls, if they does not lift up. But for other tanks, you can see which I'm loading 17 kPa, those are maintaining the pressure. Means once the pressure reaches, PV wall is lifting, the pressure is reduced, and again the tank is loading, the pressure is coming up. So all other PV walls, my tank PV walls are okay, they are maintaining the pressures, they are not going too much up. But for this particular tank, you can see the PV wall has not lifted, or the pressure side, if I would correctly say it, the pressure side is not lifting up. So hence the pressure in the tank is continually rising. So you can see 20.8. If it does not lift up till 22, there will be an alarm. Normally at 20 it should lift up. Now it has already passed 20. It is not lifting up, and it has continued to rise. The pressure is continuously rising. At 22 there will be an alarm. So these alarms are set normally 10% higher of your working pressure. So normally if it does not lift up 20, 22, there will be an alarm. So now just to show you, I'm not asking my tech crew to lift it up, just to show you that if the pressure reaches to 22, what will happen. So let us monitor. But other tanks, again I'll show you that they are maintaining the pressure, because at 20 kPa the PV wall is automatically lifting and they are maintaining the pressure. But not for this tank, as it is continuously rising. At 22 you will see there will be an alarm. So these are the alarm: pressure high pressure, LP low pressure 21.7, okay, 28, and at 22 there will be an alarm. once the alarm is there, then after alarm I would show you. I will ask my crew to lift. You can see there is an alarm, high pressure. Come over here, buzzer stop. Now there is an alarm, and now I will ask my crew to lift the pressure side of this P1. Deck, come in. Yeah, please lift 9 starboard pressure side. 9 starboard pressure side, please lift up.
Okay.
So now I've asked my crew to manually go and lift the pressure side. For this PV, they will manually go and they will lift it up. Yeah. Once they will lift it up, you would see that the pressure would fall. So now again, just to show you a second example, just for that, I've already showed you one starboard. So just to show you an example, now it's almost about 3 o'clock. At every hour I'm taking rate in my hourly rate log sheet. So it's about 3 o'clock, 1 hour has passed. So I will note down these allages in my hourly rate log, and then I'll feed into my loadicator. So this is my loadicator, I'll feed into it. So let's see what all my allages are. I could just sit down over here, and here I could write down from there. 3 port is 6.47. So now this was the allege. Now also I need to write down each tank pressure. Below this there are 2 allege and pressure. Allege and pressure. So 3 port allege is 6.47, pressure is 18. 3 starboard pressure is 18.6. 5 starboard is 16.1. 6 starboard is 0. 8 port pressure is 17.3. And here it is 7.5. Let me just show you. I was taking the readings from here. You can see 3 port 6.47. I have written 6.47. Here 3 starboard, it was 6.48. I have written 6.48. And now 5 starboard, you can see the allege is 3.17. Here I have written 3. Because it is continuing, we are loading into those tanks, so allages are changing. So from there I have written this is the pressure, this is the allege, and this is the pressure. So both I have written over here for all the tanks. Now I will come over here. This is my loadicator. You might have a different loadicator. So in each tank I will write down those allages, whichever I have noted down over here. So these allages which I have noted down, I will feed into my loadicator. So 3 port 6.47. We are not loading into these tanks, so these are already done. 3 port 3 starboard we are not loading as of now. 5 starboard 3.2. Come over here, right allege 3.2. Now this is my cubics. I just need to write down the cubics. 5 starboard cubics is 506. So these are all my volume. I will add them and write over 2964 cubics meter cube. Now I need to convert into metric ton. As I've told that you can take the density from the chief officer. Chief officer will tell you what is the density of cargo. So volume multiplied by density 0.85832544. This is my metric ton. 2544. Now they are asking rate. Remember the rate is always in metric ton, so they are asking me the rate. So what was my last hour cargo? My last hour cargo was 2144 at 2 o'clock. This was at 2 o'clock. My last hour cargo was 2144 metric ton. So last hour cargo minus present hour cargo, I will get the rate 2144 metric ton minus present rate 2544. So 400. My rate is 400 metric ton. Remember, cargo loaded, as we are loading, cargo loaded is same 2544. This is my total cargo in the tanks. So 2544 metric ton is my cargo. This is sure figure, we don't write. To go means remaining.
So take the quantity from Chiosa, that how much quantity we are going to do. Remember, this also is metric ton. So everything is in metric ton except for this first calculation. So 2 go means remaining. So 2544 we have loaded. 5700 is the total quantity. So we'll minus that. 5700, that is the total quantity to be loaded, minus present quantity 2544. This is present quantity. So I have remaining 3156 ton to be loaded. 3156. ETC, estimated time of completion. So this is the quantity to be loaded divided by rate. It is always divided by rate, divided by 400. 7.89 means almost 8 hours. So now my time is 3 o'clock. 8 hours. After 8 hours we'll be completing, means so approximately at 1100 hours we'll be finishing. That is my estimated time of completion. Manifold pressure is 0 because at loading there should not be any manifold pressure generally. SF and BM, stresses. So this also we have to take from Lodigator. Calculate strength. This is my SF, this is my bending moment, and these draft also. I would be required to fill in the drafts also. So all of these I'll take from 27.4, 71.5. 27.5% at frame number 68. Bending moment 71.4% at 88 frame number. Drafts forward and aft. Forward draft is 6.39, aft draft is 7.89. 6.39, 7.89. Hourly calculation at every hour I will do. Now next at 4 o'clock, now it's 3 o'clock. So next at 4 o'clock again I will take the rate. So this is what we have to monitor in our loading. And also now make sure once you have entered your figure, make sure you have enter the right amount of ballast. If you have done ballasting or deballasting, you also enter the ballasting and deballasting figure every hourly. Now I have done that, everything is set. Now always you have to save the condition, means every hour whichever you are loading into Lodigator, every hour you have to save the condition. So different Lodigators are different saving, how you save them. For this I will just show you how do I save this. Close, file, save. But it is, believe me, it's you don't have to remember this. This is nothing, this is just for reference, because every Lodigator is different. How do you save there? But so I'm just written down the date and the timing. So every hour you can see I'm saving. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, now at 3 o'clock I'm saving. So before also we were continuously saving that. Save. So every hour save the condition. Now I'll come back to my present condition. Okay. So every hour continue to save your condition. This is also important. Learn in your Lodigator how do you save your present condition.